So for UFC 166, I just wanted to show some bets that I had. I did pick Assunção and Polaris. They were underdogs, I believe, and they won big for me. I also have them in some parlays. I already won on them, but I also have them in some parlays where I have them looking to win some decent money. You know, all total, I think it's like 1,500. Anyways, that's just that. I'm ranked 207. I haven't really gone up. I was down to like 183, and then I had a bad week. School started, and I was really busy, and I started changing stuff, and I think overthinking things, really. Anyways, first fight of the night, UFC 166, is Pag versus Horiguchi. I think Pag has got value. He is, right now, plus 130 for Pag, so, and minus 150, so in a parlay I think he's good. In a small parlay possibly, I could see him winning a decision here. I don't know if I'll bet him though. I think I did put him in a small one, but the Larson versus Feely fight, I'm not betting that. I got Feely winning by submission in round 2. Ferguson's got a much better stand-up than Rio. I think if he keeps it on his feet and keeps Rio from taking him down, he can knock him out in round 1 or 2 early in the fight. Otherwise, you look for Ferguson to win by decision. TJ Wahlberger versus Nurmagomedov. Yeah. Anyways, his fucking name, I can never pronounce it. He is, let's see here, Adlan Amagov versus TJ Wahlberger. Amagov is minus 200, Wahlberger is plus 170. I'm not betting that. I don't think that Wahlberger can stuff Amagov's takedown, and I see the win for the Russian. KJ Nunes versus Soteropoulos. At first I had Soteropoulos on this, but I think if KJ does enough to keep it standing, he should be able to hurt Soteropoulos, possibly finish it late in the round or win by decision. I had decision, but I have here apparently KO by round number 3. I'm thinking of changing my Ferguson to decision because I could see that go into decision, but I do like him for a knockout as well. Coffin versus I. Coffin's got a lot more experience. I don't think I is at the same level as she is, but we'll find out. I haven't seen much of her fighting, so I can't really judge her without that knowledge. So, but just based on what I've seen of Kaufman, I think if she can get this girl down, she should be able to submit her in round 2 or 3. Nate the Great. Marquardt versus Hector Lombard. This should be interesting. Lombard looked really lean and good during the weigh-ins. I liked how he looked. He didn't look too overly muscular and stuff. I mean, he still has that muscular build, but he looked a lot leaner. He looked good. Hopefully his cardio is just, great, because he's going to need it. I think if he can finish this in round 1, he might. If Marquardt, gets Lombard tired though, you could see Nate possibly pushing this. So I do see value in Nate. I didn't bet on him, however, though, because it's just a really big if for me, which Nate shows up, and I'm not willing to bet on that. But for some people, you might see value in him. I don't know. I know that he's like an underdog by, let's see, he's plus 170. Hector is minus 200 anyway. So, yeah. Then we got the Barbarian Bosch versus CB Dalloway. It's another fight that I'm not betting, but I think Bosch should beat Dalloway handily. He should knock him out somewhere in round 1 or 2. Dodson versus Montague. I think Dodson will win a unanimous decision here. I think he probably just use his footwork, beat him up on his feet, throw it for 3 rounds, and yeah. Pretty much that's Gonzaga, like I said before, I really need him to show up here. He's the underdog. I do see value in him, and I do think that he can submit Jordan. I don't know what Jordan's submission defense is like, so we'll find out. Melendez versus Sanchez. I could see this going to decision, and I could also see Melendez getting Sanchez and finishing him, either early or even late. I could see this going so many different ways. It's just depends really on which Sanchez shows up. But he looked great at the weigh-ins, that said. So I think I'm looking to see a war in this fight, and I think Melendez is going to take it to Sanchez in 3 rounds and probably finish him late, or possibly we see a decision win by Melendez. Cormier versus Nelson. Yes, that's right. I have Cormier by submission over Nelson, and the reason is I don't know. I really just been seeing Cormier on top of Nelson, like I've been having this picture of, and then him doing a Kimura type or like an arm crank on Nelson where he gets his arm up behind his back and you know, cranks on it while he's on, you know, leaning on him. And I know Nelson's got great jiu-jitsu and stuff for a big, you know, he doesn't look like he looks like a fat tub of lard, and people, you know, by looking at him, his physique, you would never know how great of an athlete he actually is, you know, considering, or I wouldn't know about athlete, but fighter. So, yeah, that said, I don't know, I'm going to go Cormier by submission, and call me crazy. I even put a small bet on it because it was such a big, it was like plus 2,000 something. So, I bet it like small for the hell of it. And Velasquez versus Dos Santos. I think Kane beats Dos Santos up and knocks him out in round 3 or 4. I'm going to go with round 4 and finish Dos Santos in round 4. And, yep, that's it. Let's see, round 3 actually. We'll keep it round 3 because I have a bet for round 4. Every time I fucking have it, it never shows up the way I want it to. So I'm superstitious. Those have been my picks.